What's up guys, it's your boy Solitize, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best keybinds for switching to keyboard and mouse for beginners, as well as giving you guys some Fortnite tips and tricks. The first thing you guys have to have down is that you have to have side buttons. I get asked this question all the time, what if your mouse doesn't have side buttons? I'm not gonna lie, if you don't have side buttons on your mouse and you're trying to switch to keyboard and mouse permanently, you literally have to have them because it'll make it impossible to have optimal binds. It will cause too much stress to your fingers, and if you don't have the money, just save up. You can literally get a mouse with side buttons for as cheap as $10. So basically, if you want to switch to keyboard and mouse, you have to have side buttons. The next thing I want to talk about is your sensitivity. If you guys are having a problem finding a good sensitivity, what I recommend is starting at a slow sense such as 5% on 800 DPI and keep going up until you find the perfect sense. But when doing that, make sure to go up little by little. Don't go straight from 5% to 20% because doing that will make it nearly impossible for you guys to get the muscle memory down, and you'll find it way harder to find the sense to your liking. Next is making sure that you guys have good binds. When it comes to finding good binds, you aren't going to get used to them as quickly as you would get used to a sensitivity. So I recommend just biting the bullets and going for the most optimal binds like I wish I did. I will leave a link in the description for you guys to watch a video that shows you guys the multiple sets of optimal keybinds that works best for you. The earlier you switch to the optimal binds on keyboard and mouse, the better it will be in the long run. So you don't want to get used to trash binds and then switch to optimal binds. That'll just make it 10 times harder. So just switch to optimal binds instantly as soon as you switch to keyboard and mouse. Now that you guys know the basics, let me go ahead and show you guys my game settings and sensitivity and my binds. Alright, so first thing that you want to make sure you have on is full screen. Full screen mode gives you less delay and more FPS than windowed full screen and windowed mode. Next, after that, you want to make sure that you have stretch res. It's not a must-have, but I'm telling you, it makes it better. It gives you less delay, more FPS, better aim. There's only ups to this. The only thing is that it lowers your FOV a tiny bit, but it's worth it compared to all the benefits that you get. Next is making sure that you cap your FPS to something that you can get consistently in-game and in creative. Because playing on Unlimited, you don't get consistent FPS. Unlimited is going to give you stutters, freezes, bad aim, all that. So I can get consistent 160 FPS in-game and in creative, so that's what I have, even though I have a 240Hz monitor. Next, Colorblind Mode is optional. Some people say that Dutra Note gives you more FPS, but I play on off because it looks better to me. After that is 3D resolution. If you guys don't care about how the game looks and you just want to get better, I recommend going down to around 80%. It still looks normal, but like, you know, it gives you more FPS and less delay. And being on performance mode is a must. Performance mode gives you less delay, more FPS, just all benefits, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't do YouTube and post your clips on places like YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, shit like that, go on low meshes. Low meshes gives you way less delay. It might look ugly, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. But the minimum is making sure you're on high meshes on performance mode. Don't go on DX11 or DX12 because those just lower your FPS and everything like that. Next is this tab right here. Make sure you have this set to your region, like specifically. Don't go to auto because auto can randomly put you on NA West or anything that it just glitches out sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But if you're on NA East, it's automatically going to put you on the best lobby you can to get the lowest ping. I have auto open doors on because when you first switch to keyboard and mouse, your editing is not going to be consistent. You're going to edit a bunch of things that you don't want to, such as doors. And if you edit the door, it's going to automatically open it, so it's not going to slow you down and make you lose momentum. Next is hold to swap. This is just something that's optional. You can hold down your button to swap out a shotgun. If, for example, if there's a blue shotgun on the floor and you have a green one, you can just hold it down and it'll automatically swap them out of your inventory without you having to drop it and then pick it back up. Next is making sure that you have auto sort consumables. This is to make sure that your guns don't get mixed up with your heals in your inventory, because no one wants to switch to maze in the middle of a fight. Now these right here is highly recommended by me. I use a single edit bind and I'm a fast editor, so confirm edit on release is needed. Disable pre-edit makes so you don't accidentally pre-edit your walls and stuff like that, and reset building choices gives you less delay. Now down here, you want to make sure that NVIDIA highlights and peripheral lighting are off. If these are an option for you, make sure that they are off. They give you hella delay. Now the main thing in this tab right here is make sure that all the replay modes are off unless you're like some freaking god editor. You do not need these on at all. No one watches replays anymore. Alright, on to the HUD options. You want to go to the lowest scale that you can see your health, your ammo, your mats, and your arena points. For me, that is 43%. I can see everything perfectly fine when I'm on this right here. Now is the sensitivity. I use my own tips and tricks right here. I started off at 4% and kept on going up little by little until I found the perfect sense for me, which is 6%. You guys can try it out if you want. I recommend it because it's not too fast and not too slow. You can have good aim and good mechanics. Now audio is all preference. That doesn't really matter. Now to the binds. I use double movement, which gives me basically controller movement on keyboard and mouse. That's recommended if you're a comp player, but if you're creative, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna scroll through my binds real quick to give you guys just, gist of everything. So my use bind, I use scroll wheel to pick up because that helps you if you're off spawn, you want to land on the chest, get the gun first. Scroll pickup helps you out with that. I get the gun all the time. And harvesting tool, you do not want to use this spawn. You want to make sure you use the toggle harvesting tool, because with harvesting tool, if you press it and you will actually press it, you can't go back to your guns by pressing it again. When it comes to toggle harvesting tool, you can press it twice, go back from the pickaxe to your guns back and forth. That's good for taking walls and baiting your opponents into editing a wall when you can just shoot them in the head as soon as they edit. You get a nice little pre-fire. Now the building binds. These are optimal because I never take my finger off the W, and they are on my mouse button. The most important builds, which is the wall and the ring. Those are on my mouse buttons. Doesn't matter which mouse button you put them on as long as they're on your mouse. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now scroll wheel reset. If you're on keyboard and mouse and you're not using scroll wheel reset, what are you doing? You need scroll wheel reset. So this is how you set it up. You set scroll wheel reset as your secondary bind. So scroll wheel down for building edit and for resetting. That's how you get scroll wheel reset. Now let me go down to the toggle harvesting. This is where it is. You guys want to make sure you have this enabled so you can go back and forth from your guns and your pickaxe with one button. So that's basically all the binds right here. I'm just going to scroll through the rest. You guys can pause the video if you want to see the rest. Alright, now that you guys have read all the tips and tricks and seen my binds and everything you need to know when it comes to switching to keyboard and mouse, if this video did help you, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and all that.